100 years after the end of the Civil War, the VRA guaranteed the franchise for Black Americans and other minority groups and fulfilled the long-overdue promise of the 15th Amendment of 1870, which states that the right to vote shall not be denied or abridged by the United States or by any state on account of race, color, or previous condition of servitude. The VRA quickly became known as the most important piece of civil rights legislation in the 20th century and one of the most transformational laws ever passed by Congress. It suspended literacy tests across the South, authorized the U.S. Attorney General to file lawsuits challenging the poll tax, replaced recalcitrant registrars with federal examiners, dispatched federal observers to monitor elections, forced states with the worst histories of voting discrimination to clear electoral changes with the federal government to prevent future discrimination, and laid the foundation for generations of minority elected officials. The results were almost unimaginable in 1965. In the subsequent decades, the number of black registered voters in the South increased from 31% to 73%. The number of black elected officials increased from fewer than 500 to 10,500 nationwide. The number of black members of Congress increased from 5 to 44. The 4 congressional reauthorizations of the VRA lowered the voting age to 18, eliminated literacy tests nationwide, and expanded protections for language minority groups like Hispanics in Texas, Asian Americans in New York, and Native Americans in Arizona. The VRA became the prime vehicle for expanding voting rights for all Americans. Because of the law, John Lewis won election to the U.S. House of Representatives, representing Martin Luther King's hometown for nearly 3 decades. He became known as the conscience of the Congress. When Lyndon Johnson signed the Voting Rights Act, Lewis said, he helped free and liberate all of us. Lewis's return to Selma in 2015 should have been a triumphant occasion, a testament to the momentous progress achieved since 1965. Despite the many civil rights victories in the years since Bloody Sunday, however, the mood in Selma was more anxious. As Obama noted in his speech, the VRA, one of the crowning achievements of our democracy, now stood weakened, its future subject to political rancor. The president asked a question that many in Selma had been struggling to answer. How can that be?